Hey guys, this is 𝗗cie𝗱ance and welcome back to my channel Bankrupt Nomad. In today's video, I'm going to explain you how to use Lightroom Mobile App. Lightroom Mobile App is one of the best app on the Play Store, or you can say on the App Store. It's a free software to color grade or to color correct your photo just using your mobile phone. So this video is going to be a little bit longer than usual, but honestly, stick around. At the end of this video, you'll be more confident to use your mobile phone and edit photos right from there. At the end of the video, I'm also giving 3 presets. Presets are like the filter you might have seen in Instagram or anywhere, but these filters are adjustable. Password for those presets will pop up somewhere here or here. And at the end of the video, I will also explain you how you can download those presets and use in your phone. So without wasting a single minute, let's get started. So first thing you have to do is go into your Lightroom mobile app. If you don't have it, go to App Store and type Lightroom. So this is the app you have to download, and once you download, open the app. Here you will see all those photos. If you have it, I already have 80 photos. Click on this plus icon, go to your camera roll or gallery and select the photos. For this tutorial, I'm going to use this photo, one of my photo taken from the phone. It has a lot of colors, so while I'm editing, you will understand what slider does what in the photo. So let's get into it. On the left corner, you have selective adjustment, healing brush, crops, profile, auto, light, color, effect, detail, optics, geometry, and preset. So preset is the thing which I will talk about that at the end of the video and how you can use those presets. We are not going to use the selective and healing brush right now, which is the local adjustment. And crop tools, if you want to crop your image, and there are custom, and you can also select the size you want, like the original, square, Instagram size, or any of those things. So in this photo, I don't need any cropping. So, and if you click directly on auto, Lightroom app itself will edit the photo. It will just do the adjustment, understanding the color and everything in the photo, but we don't want to do auto as well. Let's click on the back undo button, and now we are back to the original. First thing you have to do is go to light, and here you see all this slider. You have black, white, shadow, highlight, contrast, and exposure. So I will start with the black. Usually black slider basically means if you decrease the black, you see on the top the number is going into minus. So all the black pixel in your photo going to get darker. It's going to get blacker. Is there a word, blacker? Probably. Or if you increase it, all the black part of your photo get brighter. So if I increase the photo, you can see here, let's see the black color here. Can you see that? So that's how it works. So all the darker pixel in your photo get darker, and the white is opposite of black. So if I increase the white, all the white pixels, especially the white color, get brighter. And if I decrease it, see the white color is getting darker. So let's say if I zoom out, you can see the changes. So for this photo, I'm going to decrease the black a little bit. 29 minus is good for me. I'll increase the white for a while. Then you go to the highlights. Highlights are basically if you take a photo and some of the areas is like too bright or like a little bit overexposed, and your camera still have some detail preserved in that. So if you decrease the highlight, so you can bring back all those detail. And if you don't want those detail, you can you increase it and all the highlights come up. So for this photo, I rather decrease it and bring back the detail at the left corner of the eagle right here in this part of the area. If you see, check this out. You see those line on the brick? I'm bringing that back. Then the shadow is like if you have shadow under your eyes or on your face. So if you increase the shadow, Lightroom app or Photoshop, any app, it will kind of make those areas a little bit brighter and reduce that darker pixel and makes it brighter again. So if I increase the shadow, you can see the face, see my face. So I'll increase the shadow a little bit. Oops, sorry. Anytime if you want to see what you're doing, how you're editing your photo, you can just long press on your photo. You can see before and after, before and after. Then comes the contrast, and exposure. Contrast is make your color thicker, like stronger, like intensity of your color, and if you decrease it, it makes a little bit wash away. So I usually use contrast at the end of the photo once I'm done with editing, because I want the color part to be done at the end. But I will use the exposure now to increase a little bit exposure. Yeah, this looks good to me. And now I'm going to go to the color mixer. Color mixer is where you do all the magic in your photo. You have all this slider. You can see the temp is basically the temperature, the mood of your photo you want to adjust. If I increase the temp towards the yellow, the photo gets yellow, it becomes like the daylight, and if I decrease it, it goes like the evening. Any slider, when you're editing any slider, you just double tap on that, it will come back to the 0 value. It's a trick, you can use it like a shortcut. Then you have this tint and the temperature goes together most of the time. So if I increase the temp, your photo with decreasing the yellow, you can see how it creates that moody, night moody. But if you decrease it toward green, it becomes the greenish. So in this photo, I am going to increase a little bit towards the yellow. And the vibrance and saturation, I will explain you that also. But before that, let's go to the color mix. Click here on the mix. And here you have all the color slider, like individual color slider. You have red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, magenta, and pink. These colors together makes all the color in your photo. So let's get into that, and I'll explain you how you can edit that. So if I have a red, hue basically means changing the hue of your color. So for example, if I have all the red in my photo, and if I change the hue here, you see all the red becoming orange because I'm taking my hue towards the orange. And if I take it towards the pink, all the red color in my photo becomes the pink. So I want them to be look a little bit reddish, so I'll keep orangish. Saturation is the intensity of the color, how much saturated that color you want. The red in this case, for example, if you're using, so I increase it, so you see all the red getting like the dark, like really pop out red. And if I decrease it, it will reduce the saturation and makes it like a black and white type. So in this case, I'm gonna increase it a little bit. I want it to pop out. Luminance is basically makes that color either brighter or darker. So if I increase the luminance, all the red in the photo, because I'm using a red color, becomes red, whitish. And if I decrease it, you see all the red becomes like a dark, like very thick red. I think in this case I want it a little bit darker. Same goes to all the other sliders. The orange becomes like this way, all the orange slider, you see. And then for the yellow, you can see the eagle's face, it's yellow, so I can make it green, because the yellow I'm turning towards the green, or I can make it orangish. So that's how it works. Then you have green here. So greens are the leaves in this photo. So if I increase the green towards the green, it becomes greener. And at the bottom also, at the bottom of the photo, you see a little bit of those real plant. And if I take it towards the yellow, all this part especially becomes, you can see the changes here. So that's how this slider works. And then if I go to blue slider, and all this blue in the photo, this blue and the strip over there, check this out, how it becomes toward the cyan color, or I can make it toward magenta type. So that's how this works. So for this photo, I'm gonna use the blue and make it a little bit this way. I'm gonna use the orange and make it a little bit brighter, and then this a little bit here. I'm making my face brighter a little bit. And where's my yellow? I want yellow to be a little bit that. Orange, I did. Red I already worked on. Yes, the green part, I want a green to be greenish, but I want the saturation to be down and dark. Now you click down and then come to your vibrance and saturation. So a lot of time people don't understand the difference between vibrance and saturation. So vibrance basically increases the color, make your color saturated, which are less saturated in the whole photo. So vibrance start from the less saturated color and then start saturating those parts whereas saturation in the photo applies directly to the all photos. If I increase the saturation, the whole photo gets saturation. It does not differentiate between the colors. It just start applying on all the photos. Whereas if I increase the vibrance, you see the color which are less saturated first gets saturated and then the other part of the photo. So that's the difference between saturation and vibrance. So usually you increase the vibrance and decrease saturation to make it a little bit more aesthetic. You call it the subtle color. So I keep it here. I like it this way. And then you go to effect. Effect basically have texture, clarity, and dehaze are the major. Then I'll explain you what vignette does in the effect as well. Texture, if you see the texture in your photo, if you increase it, it's going to increase the texture. It kind of create those outline. And then clarity will the same thing, but texture is mostly worked on the edges of the photo, whereas clarity again works on the every single pixel of your photo. It makes it sharper. So if I increase the clarity, you can see that every part of the photo is getting that, whereas in the texture it's only the edges. Do you see the difference? So I increase the texture a little bit and a little bit of clarity. Whereas dehaze is basically useful when you're editing the landscape photos, because landscape photos have a lot of haze, in the photo. So if you dehaze them, it makes your photo clearer and a little bit pop out. In this photo, if I increase the dehaze, it will work a little bit. You see how it makes the color, all the color, like it creates kind of a dark pixel and makes the photo pops out. And if I decrease it, it will create the haze in my photo. So you see, so I'll increase a little bit. Vignette is like brings the shadow in the four corners of your photo and again makes it a little bit more contrast. So if I decrease this, it will bring that white shadow, you can see all the way. If I go to the 100 minus, and if I go plus, it will bring that white hazy thing around your photo. So in this photo I don't need vignette, but I was explaining you because, as I said, this video is all about explaining you the whole thing. These are the midpoint, feather, and roundness is about how you want to control your vignette. Then you go to details. In details you can do the sharpening in your photo and reduce the noise in your photo. So in the photos, noise does not mean the sound noise. In the photo, noise means the grain in your photos. So if I increase the sharpening, so the whole photo would get sharpened. Let's zoom in and check this out. So this is my photo, and if I increase it all the way up, you see every single pixel in this photo gets sharpened. You don't want to do that. You want just the edges to be sharpened, right? So increase the sharpening, increase the sharpening as you want. I want like about 15 in this photo. Radius is about how sharpen your radius, how much you want it to spread. If I increase all the way to 100, like 3, you can see it is kind of becoming weird. You don't want that either. So I usually keep it to like 1.1 to 1.2. Then detail, how much you want to preserve the detail in your photo. So if I increase the detail more, it will preserve more and more detail. Kind of try to bring it, but keep it there. The most important one here in this, the masking, because when you sharpen, the whole photo got sharpened, like it was applied on all, but you want to apply only on edges. So start increasing the masking and press on your screen, so you can see this white and black, the photo. As you increase more, the white area is the area where sharpening is applied, and the black area is the area where sharpening is not applied. So now if you see, so only the edges you want it to be applied, so it applied on the edges. So let's zoom out and see now again. So I press again, I start sharpening down. So look at that. Now it is the sharpening slider you applied, it applied on all photos, which you don't want it. You don't want to like sharpen the whole pixel. So you increase it, and maybe you can increase it to 100 and just apply on that. Noise reduction, again in your photo, you see the grain, some grain in your photo. So if you increase that, if you go all the way to 100, you'll see the whole photo become like a smooth soap, like a painting type. You don't want that as well. So go back down and keep it, see your photo where you want it. So 10 is usually ideal for me. The moment you see that the photo is becoming unreal, stop doing there, because you don't want to go after that. After that, you have optics. Optics is basically if you have any curve in your photo or the lens correction you want to do. In this photo, I don't have it, so I would not use it. Then you have geometry. In geometry, you can change the photo. For example, you took a photo from the bottom and it's so up there. You can adjust that part. So in this photo also, I don't have it, but I'll just do the slider and you can understand what I mean. So distortion, you can see how it's distorting, creating that lens, like fisheye view, you know, the wide angle kind of. Then you have vertical. This, it kind of makes it vertical. You can see that. Then horizontal, the same thing with stretches the horizontally your photo. Rotate is rotating your photo. Then you have aspect, basically making stiffer or stretch. Then scale, like zoom in and zoom out kind of basically. Then off. Now come back to the light again, and then here you have to use the contrast in the photo. So I'll increase the contrast a little bit here. So this is my photo, and if you see, this was the before, dark, light, simple photo, and this is the after. You can take this photo one step further if you want to use apply the same almost everything which is there by using selective. So in selective you have three options: brush, then you have the circle, what do you call, and then you have a gradient. So circle is like you can create a circle around anything. Let's say I create around my face, and I can select what I want to adjust. Let's say I want to adjust the light part and increase the exposure, make my face a little bit brighter. You can see how only that part is applied. And if I want to apply the gradient, so gradient is like, let's zoom out. So gradient is like, you can see from the red part is basically where the adjustment is being applied, and the white part, the area which is not reddish, is not applied. So you can adjust where how much you want it. You can bring like the light or shadow from the side. Let's say if I want to bring the light from the side, or if I want to make it darker, that is done with the gradient. Then the highlight, I can decrease the highlight like that. So this is how it's been done. Now let's get into the preset part. So once you slide here at the bottom right corner, you say the reset. So let me reset the photo, and I will reset everything. So I'll come back to the old same photo, and now here I'm going to explain you how you can apply the preset. So here if you click on the preset, you can see all the names I've given to the preset I've created. Basically presets are like the work I did and then I save it, so that I can in future I can just use on the photo, similar photo. So according to the photo you can use the preset. So let's say I apply this one, which looks a little bit darker, but as I said, these presets are adjustable, so you can adjust it. Again, come here, you wanna, what part you wanna adjust? You wanna adjust the light part, so come here. You see it's already edited for you because that's how the preset was created. So shadow was down, so you can increase the shadow and bring that thing up, and you can bring the white up a little bit and decrease the highlight. And if you want to adjust any other part, you can do the same thing here. So to download the preset, all you have to do is first go to the download file. So if you're downloading from the Google Drive, click here and all the way down and go slide there, open in Lightroom. You can launch it right now. So go here and your photo has been imported. So find the photo which was just imported. If you see it's a DNG file here, click on that photo and click on the dots here and go to create a preset. Click on create preset, name it the way you want it. I already have it, and then let's say black copy because I already have it, and then save it. Once you save it, you go into the preset, you can see here, and then you will find it. Look at this black copy right here. Then you can take any photo, let's say just for the sake of this tutorial, let's say I take this photo here, go to the preset, and I apply my black copy. You see? So that's how it's been done. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful, and I hope you learned something from this tutorial. If you did learn, and if you're planning to edit photos using your mobile phone, then please tag me on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or even on YouTube, and stay connected. I'll see you very soon with another exciting video. Till that time, my lovely people, do whatever you want to do in life, but don't forget to stay happy. Ciao.